Moving into my new apartment was supposed to be a fresh start. I was finally living alone in a cozy place that was all mine. The rent was unbelievably cheap, which raised a red flag, but I ignored it. I convinced myself that it was a stroke of luck and not a reason to worry. The first night was uneventful, calm even. I unpacked a few boxes, set up my bed, and fell asleep, tired but content. When I woke up the next morning, though, something was off. My living room window was wide open. At first, I thought I'd left it like that, but the latch had been undone, and I was sure I had locked it. Maybe I was too tired to remember, I reasoned, brushing off the uneasy feeling. Things stayed normal for a while after that. A week passed without incident, and I started to feel at home. But then, I began to notice little things, minor, barely noticeable. My keys wouldn't be where I'd left them. A glass I was sure I'd put in the sink would reappear on the counter. At first, I blamed myself for being forgetful. One night, about 2 weeks after I moved in, I heard a faint scratching sound. It was coming from the walls. I told myself it was mice or some other pest, though I had yet to see any signs of them. I even called the landlord, who dismissed my concerns, saying the building was old and bound to make noises. But the scratching didn't stop. In fact, it got louder. One night I was watching TV when I heard a loud thud from my bedroom. My heart skipped a beat. It was late, and I wasn't expecting anyone. Grabbing my phone for the flashlight, I crept into the room. Everything looked normal, until I noticed my closet door. It was slightly ajar. I stared at it, my heart pounding. I couldn't remember leaving it open. Maybe I had. Slowly, I reached for the doorknob and pulled it open. Nothing, just clothes and boxes. I laughed nervously, feeling foolish, and shut the door. But the uneasy feeling stayed with me. Things escalated quickly after that. A few nights later, I came home from work to find my kitchen chairs stacked on top of the table, perfectly balanced, as if someone had carefully arranged them. I froze in the doorway, my breath catching. Was someone breaking in? Playing some kind of sick prank? I checked the locks. They were secure. The windows were shut tight. No sign of a forced entry. I tried to rationalize it, telling myself I must have done it absent-mindedly, though I knew that didn't make any sense. The watching shadow, that was when the nightmares started. Every night, I'd wake up around 3 a.m., drenched in sweat, feeling like someone was watching me. Sometimes I thought I saw a shadow standing at the foot of my bed, but when I turned on the light, it was gone. One night, though, I saw it clearly, a tall, dark figure standing completely still at the corner of my room. My body froze. My breath caught in my throat. I couldn't move, couldn't scream. It was like the air around me had turned heavy, suffocating. And then, just as suddenly as it appeared, it was gone. I confided in a friend about what was happening. She listened, her face growing more concerned with every detail. Finally, she suggested I look up the history of the apartment. I resisted at first. I didn't want to scare myself even more, but curiosity got the better of me. A quick online search revealed that the apartment had been vacant for years before I moved in. The last tenant, a young woman, had disappeared under mysterious circumstances. According to neighbors, she'd been acting strangely before her disappearance, claiming someone was stalking her, hearing voices, seeing things no one else could. No one ever found her. The night I found out about the previous tenant, something happened that I'll never forget. I was brushing my teeth, staring at my reflection in the bathroom mirror. Suddenly, I felt cold air brush against my neck. I froze, my toothbrush still in my mouth, and glanced behind me. Nothing. But when I looked back at the mirror, I saw her. A woman with hollow eyes and a twisted smile was standing right behind me. My scream caught in my throat as I spun around, but there was no one there. I turned back to the mirror, and my reflection wasn't mine anymore. It was her. The smile widened as she raised a hand to wave at me. Then the lights flickered, and she was gone. By this point, I was terrified to stay in the apartment. I started sleeping with the lights on, but even that didn't help. The noises continued, the shadows grew bolder, and the feeling of being watched never went away. The final straw came one night when I woke up to the sound of whispering. It was faint at first, but it grew louder, surrounding me. I couldn't make out the words, but it sounded like multiple voices, angry, desperate. sat up in bed, clutching my blanket, when I saw her again. She was standing at the foot of my bed, her head tilted at an unnatural angle, her eyes locked on mine, and then she lunged. I don't remember much after that. I woke up hours later on the floor, my body aching, my mind a blur. I didn't pack my things. I didn't even lock the door. I just ran. It's been months since I left that apartment, but the nightmares haven't stopped. Sometimes I still feel like I'm being watched, even in my new place. And every now and then, I wake up to find my closet door slightly ajar.